Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Marcus Peter. I'm talking with Peggy Stanton, ABC TV Network's first female news correspondent in Washington, D.C. She's had a really illustrious career, especially serving within the life of the church as well. Joining me to talk about her new book. This is published by Marian Press. It's called The United Saints of America, on pilgrimage with our Mother Mary from sea to shining sea. Peggy, great to speak with you. How are you?
Thank you, Marcus. It's been a while. Good to talk with you.
It has been a while. It's good to hear from you as well. I want to begin by, first of all, wishing you a blessed 250th anniversary of our beautiful nation.
Well, you too.
And the blessing of being a citizen of the United States of America. What a joy.
Yeah.
I want to invite you to share with all of our listeners what's on your heart in terms of how blessed we are to be citizens and most of all Catholics in the United States of America.
Gosh, it's hard. It's hard to enumerate, but we should be absolutely so grateful. And one of the things we should be most grateful for is the freedom to worship as we wish, because it didn't start out that way in this country. We were one of the most persecuted religions, and now, can you believe it? We are the dominant denomination in this country, 72 million Catholics. But that was not easily won. It was brought about by some very brave, courageous explorers, and most of all the missionaries.
Yeah, which leads us to this great story of the saints, the United Saints of America. It's no surprise I'm going to begin with Michigan, and so I invite you to talk about the saints that you highlighted, and maybe to begin with one living saint, but also one who's gone before us in the Lord. So Tom Monahan, Al Cresta.
Well, that's right. Tom Monahan, of course, started right out of tomato fields. He built a university and a town, and this town is Ave Maria. I'm still surprised, Marcus, how many people don't know about Ave Maria, Florida. They do know there's a university, and of course there's a law school in Naples, all done by Tom. Tom had a tremendous conversion reading C.S. Lewis's book, Mere Christianity. And at the time, he was living the life of a billionaire. He owned the Tigers. He was building a huge mansion. And he spent all night reading that book. And when the chapter on pride just hit him in the mouth, and he said, this is a description of me. He stopped building the mansion right in the middle of the building, sold the Tigers, and he has used huge sums of money for the church, including, by the way, the helping funding of the Catechism, which John Paul II asked for. And, but literally a beautiful town that everybody who has been to Medjugorje, including Monahan and Dr. Mark Miravalli and Immaculée Ilibigaza, all who are residents, by the way, of Ave, agree is the town that most resembles Medjugorje in America. I mean, it's just a town of people, teachers, lawyers, professors, etc., ordinary people, just felt called to move to this town, including me. So that is, and of course Al Cresta. And who did Tom Monahan recruit to start this wonderful network we have, Ave Maria, but Al Cresta. who was, wouldn't you agree, Marcus?
Oh,
was
yes.
Absolutely unique.
Absolutely.
Unique broadcaster.
No, absolutely.
No.
He was an amazing mentor, father figure, and
Yeah.
I owe so much to not only his guidance and tutelage and his brilliance, but also I sincerely believe his intercession. And so that leads us to think about the other saints that went before both these men, Father Frederick Berriga. And I know we have others like Father Isaac Jogues and Charles Rimbaud, but tell us about Father Frederick Berriga.
Oh, he was they called him the snowshoe priest because one year I think he snowshoed, and that's how he reached his constituents. He reached them through snowshoeing some 600 miles. So he was, but another person and a story that nobody knows about Michigan, not nobody, but when I was doing Michigan, I had it all finished, and I thought in my head, and I went out to dinner with some fellow knights and dames of Malta, and they said to me, "Do you know about Father Marquette's chalice?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" And they said, "It's a great story," because Father Marquette, of course, founded the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan mission, and his lifetime was in the late 1600s, early 1700s. He actually died at the age of 37. An enormously brave man. And when he was celebrating Mass there in Sault Ste. Marie, he used a silver chalice. And the chalice was very, very, of course, precious to him. And he set off on another mission, and he gave the chalice to the Indian chief. And he said, "Guard this with your life. And if I come back, I will reclaim it. If I don't come back, you cherish it and guard it and keep it and give it to the next black robe who comes here." Well, that was in, as I said, 1700s. He never did come back. He died. And so another black robe, so to speak, did not come until the 1940s. And he was saying Mass, and he noticed these 3 old Indians in the back of the church, and they were studying him very carefully. Finally, they came up to him one day, and they said that they had Father Marquette's chalice, and would he travel deep into the woods with them, and they would dig it up and show it to him. Well, he had never seen these men before, so he had to trust. So he went with them, and sure enough, they dug it up, and there was Father Marquette's chalice. And you know where it is now?
No, I don't.
It's right here. The priest was not a Jesuit, so he gave it to the Jesuits. It's very much cherished and enshrined at Manresa, the retreat center here. I think it spends about 6 months here and 6 months in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. And, when I heard that story, I thought, that's a story of Trinitarian trust. Père Marquette had to trust the Indians to do what he asked them to do. They honored that trust for hundreds of years, and then the priest had to honor that trust. They go in deep into the woods with strangers.
I'm talking with Peggy Stanton. She is ABC TV Network's first female news correspondent in Washington, D.C. She's now the author of The United Saints of America, and of course, no stranger to Ave Maria Radio's network. And we're going to continue on the other side of the break with her. Stay tuned. I'm Marcus Peter. Good afternoon and welcome back. I'm Marcus Peter, talking with Peggy Stanton. Peggy is a prolific woman, long-time contributor to news correspondence, especially through ABC TV's news network, first female correspondent to Washington, D.C., and then her prolific work contributing to Catholic media, especially through Ave Maria Radio and EWTN's network as well. And now she is a prolific author as well. And so we're looking at her newest book, The United Saints of America, on pilgrimage with our Mother Mary from Sea to Shining Sea. Peggy, if you don't mind us shifting gears to talk about Nebraska. Nebraska is one of our great partner radio stations, Spirit Catholic Radio. They're great brothers and sisters in arms with us. Share with us about Father Jeremiah Tracy.
Can I instead tell a story about there is a shrine in Nebraska, Our Lady of Fatima.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it has how many people would know it has its origins in Dachau, in the death camp. The priest who created this shrine was a prisoner there. You know, every morning they would have roll call. And if you didn't answer to your roll call, that was death, or if they caught you saying the rosary, that was death, automatic death. Well, he was saying the rosary, but he was saying it on his fingers. And he said, sometimes when I did that, it would take me to a place far away from the hell I was living in. And one morning that happened, and he didn't hear his roll call, and he didn't answer. And later in the day, when someone told him, you didn't answer your roll call, he just froze. He thought he was going to die. But they never caught on to that. He made a promise, he silently made a promise to Our Lady. If I live through this hell, I will somewhere build you a shrine. So he did live. He did live to escape from Dachau. And he wanted to honor that promise. He was in Italy for a while. And he got a letter from the bishop in Nebraska who said, "Come, just come. This is a new land. You'll be free. We will always welcome you." So he came, and he became pastor of a parish, and he built that beautiful little Our Lady of Fatima shrine that's in Nebraska.
That's such a powerful story, and it's one of those stories that I think, it's one of those things where you won't know until you do the digging. Can you share with us about just how prolific and profound that place is?
Well, you wouldn't know. How many people would know that story?
Yeah.
If they just went there and said, "Oh, isn't this a beautiful shrine?" And think of this is where I connect the saints with a capital S, those have been raised to the canonization. And those people, think of all the people around the United States who have done wonderful things and built wonderful things for our Lord. And they are who I would consider, and these are a lot of the stories I tell in the book. These are the saints, the little s saints. For instance, in Hawaii, in 1841, a boatload of priests, nuns, and a bishop were coming back to America because of the great need for clergy. And their boat was lost in shipwreck coming through the Straits of Magellan. And so someone named Helio Maho, just a layman, stepped into the breach and taught the Hawaiians Catechism. And when 1846, when Catholic priests finally arrived, there were 4,000 Hawaiians waiting to be baptized. So that's what I call the Little S saints.
Can we also switch gears to talk about Iowa? Our friends on Iowa Catholic Radio have been such amazing partners on our mission, and Iowa has an amazing story too with the Shrine of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Can you share with us a little about that?
Yes, Iowa is, who would have expected Iowa to be the land of grottos? And a priest there, Father Paul Doberstein, I think is the name. Do I have that correct? Because you may be looking at Iowa and I'm
Yes, Father Paul Doberstein.
Yeah,
right,
yeah. He believed he had pneumonia as a young man, which in those days, was a very critical disease. And he promised Our Lady, if he survived, that he would build her some kind of a shrine. So he built that shrine of the redemption, the fall and the redemption of mankind, honoring her son. But he spent 46 years building it, and he gathered all this marvelous, spent years before he started just gathering all these beautiful, beautiful stones, quartz and things, and azure. He thought beautiful stones were something that lasted. And he spent, I think, 46 years. He and just one other man built the whole thing. It's really quite extraordinary.
Peggy, you did a copious amount of research for this book, and I'm just so moved by just how much you did. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing all these stories with us. Do you have a final word to share with everyone about why we ought to appreciate just how Catholic so much of the United States is?
Oh, we really, our roots are everywhere and in every state. And the values that we cherish, this country was really built upon. George Washington, attended one of the first Catholic masses in, I believe it was Philadelphia. He was very grateful for the Catholic input and resisted, the English who had chased us out of their country, thanks to Henry VIII, were not anxious to honor us, but he said, how could you not, when the French had come over and helped us so much in the Revolution. So we should be very proud of our Catholic roots. We should search them out. This is the kind of book you should really, read it, and we're doing it chronologically in the book, but you'd have to do it regionally if you did it on foot or on wheel or on wing. But just tuck it in, keep it in your car, and when you're near a place you might like to have seen, you veer off the road and take a look at it.
Peggy, thank you so much. Such a joy to reconnect with you, and it's so good to hear your voice again.
Oh, thank you. So good to hear yours, Marcus. Good to be with you.
My guest has been Peggy Stanton. She is most recently the author of The United Saints of America. It's a great, beautiful book from Marian Press. Stay tuned. I'm Marcus Peter.